and when we go on, you'll be able to see it better. You should be able to. You might have to minimize that. Yeah, you're in full screen. That won't be good. That might work. Can you hit the middle of it? Just hit the middle of it. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the one you want right there.
Okay, see, last time, all I saw was that much. I couldn't read it.
From the Owl's Nest Barbecue Research and Development Center in Ottawa, Tennessee, it's time to light the grill, smoke the meat, and then repeat, because you are seeing and listening to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show with Steve Ray. The Owl's Nest Barbecue Show is brought to you by David Bosca and all the great products from Butcher Barbecue. Rubs, injections, sauce, and grilling oils. Now you can cook like a world champion with Butcher Barbecue products. And now the host of the show, Steve Ray.
Everybody, welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show, brought to you by Butcher Barbecue Products, a complete line of rubs, injections, sauces, grilling oils, and supplies. We're also brought to you by Michelin Tires, available at Steve Ray's Midnight Oil in Ottawa. You don't have to pay very much more to get the quality and performance you need at Steve Ray's Midnight Oil. You only pay for the tire plus the sales tax, and that's the out-the-door price. Steve Ray's Midnight Oil. I'm going to say it. You don't pay for the building. You just pay for the tires. That's right. And tonight I am so proud to announce that we are also brought to you by the good folks at Pit Barrel Cooking Company. That's right. The Pit Barrel Cooker, available now at the Owl's Nest Supply Store, which is open, by the way. Right now at the Midnight Oil in Ottawa, where you can buy all of your Butcher Barbecue rubs and products. You can also purchase the Pit Barrel Cooker. They will be in Friday. A tremendous stock coming in. We want you to come by. So easy to use. So very, very affordable and a great price point. And let's turn that off. What's up?
Beautiful weather.
Is that what?
It's cooking time.
It's cooking time. Hey, welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. I'm Steve Ray. Hey, with me every Wednesday night is neighbor Frank. And this is the place, Ooltewah, Chattanooga, and our friends around the United States gather to talk about barbecue and all the things that surround live fire cuisine. Tonight, Frank, is chicken wing night.
We love chicken wings.
And we're doing that because in just, let's see, today's the 27th. We'll call it the 28th. On the 30th, that's just 30 days, 29 days actually. The big chicken wing contest in conjunction with the UTC spring game. It's UTC Fan Fest. And there's going to be a huge chicken wing contest at the pavilion starting at, I think, 7 o'clock that morning. Of course, you don't have to be there that early. But that's what time Frank and I will be there, loading in all of our stuff to compete. And you'll be able to come by and get free chicken wings. You'll be able to come by and sample wings. There'll be judges there. And the biggest thing, Frank, this year is $1,000 prize purse.
And it's big. Because
That's huge.
They've had nothing before.
Are you kidding me?
No, nothing.
A trophy?
Yeah.
And an attaboy?
Yeah. Mostly attaboy.
And that was
trophy wasn't even.
And that was suspicious.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
They may have stolen out of the trophy.
That's sour grapes. That's sour grapes. And we're the king of sour grapes, I know. Hey, I want to tell you, Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply is open at the Midnight Oil in Ooltewah. I ordered all the signs today. Willie Spurgeon, my sign man from Ooltewah, came out, took all the measurements. He'll be getting those up on the windows in the building soon. But we've got a complete stock of Butcher Barbecue products with more on the way. And like I said, the Pit Barrel Cooker is on the way. It will be here the day after tomorrow. Come on by. I'm gonna have one out there tomorrow. I'm gonna crank it up. If you want to see what I'm talking about, by all means, come on by there. And of course, if you need car repairs, tires, anything like that, service on your car, the Midnight Oil in Ooltewah, we've been there for 35 years. Tires, repairs, barbecue rubs, pit barrel cookers.
Don't forget, you got free air.
And free air.
Free air. Always
That's a
free
big
air.
deal, isn't it?
Always free air.
That's a big deal with
You
people.
got charged 75 cents at some places.
Is that how much it is?
Free air, yeah.
And then usually the thing's cut off at the end.
Oh, that's true.
Some crackhead cut it off to
Took it home.
scrap it. Before we go to our special guest tonight, I want to tell you who they are. Eddie O'Brien is up first. Eddie is he's a financial advisor in his day job, but his passion are the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga mocks.
Yeah.
All things mocks. And Eddie's going to be joining us in just a few moments to tell us about the chicken wing contest that's going to be going on. And then at 7:35, Frank and I will be joined by one of the top barbecuers in the nation,
Yeah.
Tim Maloy from the Florida Barbecue Association. And Frank Tim is on a roll in Florida.
Yeah, he's won a lot lately.
He is cooking like nobody's business. And Tim has volunteered to join us to talk chicken wings. He'll be giving us some tips, maybe some tweaks.
Super secrets?
I don't know about super secrets.
Tweaks.
But tweaks. But
Tweaks.
Tim
We'll go
competes. He competes in barbecue contests and chicken wing contests. And only thing he does is win. Folks, he just wins. He wins. And he's joining us at 7:35. And before we go to Skype and bring in Brian, I want to, or Eddie O'Brien, rather, I want to tell you about the big news last night. Last night on the Barbecue Central show with Greg Rempe, Chad Ward was named the 2019 Barbecue Entertainer of the Year. Well, you scoff at that. That's a big deal.
He's an entertainer in himself.
Yes, but he is a barbecue entertainer. I take this barbecue entertainment business, I take it seriously. And Chad is the best at it right now.
Yeah.
So he is the 2019, the panel, it was a unanimous choice.
I saw him do a Traeger promo about
Yeah.
a year ago, and
Yeah.
he was phenomenal.
He's incredible.
In Traeger Kitchen.
And he works for Traeger. I think
Yeah.
he's the
Traeger ambassador or something.
salesman.
Like
No,
that.
I think he's a sales manager. I think he gets paid.
he?
I think they give him a check every week or something like that. But
Seems
he's great.
better.
He's great, and we're going to try to get him on next week.
That'd be fun.
The barbecue,
Chad's a hoot.
the 2019 Barbecue Entertainer of the Year, Chad Ward. And if we could get him on, that would be huge.
He's good. He's very good.
Oh, Chad is a good cook.
Yeah.
He's a barbecuer, small business person,
Yeah. All the
entertainer.
above.
Can talk your ear off. Talks about barbecue all the time.
Just doesn't sell tires.
Thank goodness. I'd
Yeah.
hate to be selling against him.
Should be tough.
I'm good, but man, I'm not that good. All right, we're going to go to Skype here. And what we're going to do, let's see here, Frank, I'm going to do this. We're going to put up a screen here for everybody right there, and then we're going to cheat a little bit. And we're going to go to Skype, and everybody will be able to hear. Eddie O'Brien,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
Doing well.
And there he is, ladies and
There he
gentlemen,
is.
on the big screen right behind us. There you are, Eddie. Eddie O'Brien, UTC. Let me go back to my. Hang on, Eddie. I got a lot going on down here. Well, that's what I wanted. There you go. There we go. Right there. right there.
Momentary technical.
Hey, there he is. How about that? There is everybody. There is Eddie O'Brien. Eddie, I introduced you as the a financial planner, correct, here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I work for a wealth management team here locally in Chattanooga.
All right, good deal. And he manages wealth,
Which neither of us have.
which is fun to talk about. Wealth is fun to talk about.
We're here to talk about chicken, though.
That's
today.
exactly right. I know you get tired of talking about other people's money. So let's talk about chicken wings. And I told everybody in your spare that's your day job, but your passion is the University of Tennessee Mocs. Am I not correct?
Yeah, Chattanooga's been a great. I graduated from there. My wife did, and it's been a great ride here the last 6 or 7 years as we've tried to build a few things with Chattanooga, and the wing contest is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, what got you interested in kind of promoting your alma mater? Because most people, when they get out of school, like I graduated in '81 from UT Knoxville, and
Sure.
I just left, and I think I've been to one homecoming, and
3 ball games since.
yeah, and I'm just I live down here now. I've been down here
What?
33 years. What makes you want to go back and do something for the old alma mater?
Well, as I always say, where would you be without the Power C? I also serve on the UT President's Council, so I'm certainly involved in all aspects of the UT system. And but what I would suggest is, you got to give back. Maya Angelou had a quote a few years back, and she said, "You can't go through life with the catcher's mitt on both hands. You got to be able to give something back." So, in my way of giving back is kind of becoming an empty nester. Probably about 6-7 years ago, when the kids were pretty much gone in college, all that kind of stuff. Got involved, started a group at UTC called the Think Tank. That's still a great group, and we decided we would try to create some traditions.
Mm-hmm.
UT's got Rocky Top. You can argue they took that away from Chattanooga, but
We won't go there.
it goes back a ways. But anyway, it's a good thing is
They always bring that up. They always bring that up.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. We missed out. I mean, I'll be honest with you. But the thing is, with the think tank, what we try to do is I told Dr. Angle, we met with him. We've got a more formal mission statement. But I said the easiest way to remember us is UTC, Unofficial Tradition Creators. And so this is one of the things we've decided to do is try to create some traditions. And the spring game certainly seems like a great way that we can gather some folks, have some camaraderie, build some excitement for certainly the football team, but really for the community.
Oh, absolutely. The spring game.
The new coach.
Yeah, Rusty Wright's back.
Yep.
Yeah, Rusty, Nick Pollard, who's a member of the think tank, actually played under Rusty, and excited to have him back. And I think they've will do a great job. Not that Tom didn't, and we certainly Russ took us to a level we hadn't been in over 30 years. But, we're relevant, and, we play UT Knoxville again this year. So I think it's a great rivalry to kind of bring back. UT should, with just the sheer athletic talent, be able to, dominate. But, we'll give them a game.
Well, sure you will, and the kids will play even harder against. They always play harder against the D1 or the
Big time.
FCS teams now, whatever they're calling them these days. But the thing about UTC athletics back in the early 2000s, I was lucky enough to be part of the Jim Reynolds Mox football broadcast team. And I was the sideline reporter during the Rodney Allison era, and that was a brutal era for University of Tennessee Chattanooga football, as everyone well knows.
Yeah,
And
we're fine. We'll be okay. I mean, the thing is, we've established a certain level now that we know we can attain, and I think Rusty's going to bring that back. I think with that excitement. Just to segue into the wing contest, we're talking to a few of the players that play in the NFL, Tay Davis, Keontae Davis, Corey Levin. Corey was one of our judges last year in the wing contest. Mm-hmm. And we're reaching out to those guys right now as we speak, just to see if they would be able to come back. And they've definitely shown a great interest, in coming back and supporting. A lot of them played actually under Rusty. So, it's a great opportunity for us to get some, if you want to go see a guy that's just was on a Super Bowl team, if Keontae can come, that'd be great. Tay certainly at that level. Anybody at the NFL level certainly is at the epitome of what most people would aspire to.
Yeah, and where I was going with that was you fast forward to the Russ Huseman era, and just a whole lot of throttle down. A lot of excitement, and that's kind of when the chicken wing contest started 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember the excitement being out there on the south side in the parking lot. That first one, Frank was there with us.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that y'all had, Eddie, it's a great idea, and I'm really glad to see that it's growing now to a point where. Let's talk about number one, the prize money, but let's talk about number two, the people that are pitching in to make this thing work, because each year it's gotten just a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And I think this year is really going to be the coming out party.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first year I threw my name in the hat, and I would say I was a wing aficionado by any stretch. And, I showed up with my green egg, and you guys showed up with these cabooses that had used real firewood. And I thought I was doing pretty well, but you and Doug Keller and a couple others really, seriously, you raised another level, gave me an idea that, hey, there's a subculture out there that is just phenomenal. That, when you guys had matching shirts, I was like, holy cow! I mean, this is incredible. I mean, but it's serious, and that's the element I never knew really existed. I just thought, hey, it'd be great to get a bunch of guys out there doing this. And, we had both mayors out there. Mayor Coppinger is probably going to join us again this year. We just communicated with him yesterday. We get a few of the football players playing for these NFL teams, a few celebrities, a few culinary experts. I mean, we'll have something. And with the prize money this year, certainly it catches people's attention. I mentioned something to my assistant the other day, and she said, heck, I'm in,
Oh, that's great. See, that's what you want. That's what you want. You want people of all levels to come out there and compete. And, the $1,000 prize purse, $500 for the winner, $300 for second, $200 for third. No entry fee. See, we're used to paying $200 to enter these contests.
Walk in.
Yeah, just to walk up to the gate.
And then get to buy your own meat on top.
Then you buy your own meat on top of it, and you buy everything. And
well, as you know, we got Pilgrims, I think, is committing to helping us with the wings this year. And to boot, I've personally personally purchased 120 pounds of wings the last 3 years, and we certainly want to continue that to just feed the general public. So they want to come up and just try a wing. I think what's exciting this year is we can get the donation is we can spread the wealth around a little bit so you can produce a few more of your award-winning wings, and so can Doug, and so can Paul Schoner, and some other friends of mine. Ken Mari won the, I think, placed. My brother won it last year. So, there's certainly some opportunities to have people not only sample some good wings, but hey, how about some championship wings?
Well, you know yourself, and the venue that we have at the pavilion is second to none. I've cooked chicken wings from Knoxville to Atlanta in different contests, and there's not a single place that's any better than right in our own backyard in that pavilion. You're weatherproof. The sound is nice in there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room to move around. It's
This is a great
clean.
venue.
Yeah, it's
Restrooms right there.
Yeah, it's clean. It's sanitary. You don't have to worry about rolling in the grass. And
Well, what about last year with the weather? I mean, the weather was just not the best, and we had a place inside. It was cold and rainy, and it worked out extremely well. And at least we were dry and could cook, and don't have to worry about smoke or anything. So it was great. Just have at it.
now, Eddie, who stepped up and furnished the prize money for the contest?
Well, I mentioned Doug Keller earlier. He works. I mean, he is a member of a local club here, the Elks Club, and he had said the Elks Club was very interested in helping support this event.
That's great.
Super.
And so they're the ones putting up the money. The think tank was certainly in the running, but he had kind of beat us to that a little bit. But either way, we're going to create that prize money, and it will be a donation to UTC, and they will actually award the prize money themselves, and probably through the form of a Visa gift certificate.
Yeah.
And then there will also be trophies. So we had trophies last year. I was a big proponent of that because, I think Doug Keller won it the first year, and he represents Komodo Grill. And I think the marketing department at UTC gave him a green egg.
Yeah.
And little bit of a marketing issue with Doug. I think he gave it away, and it was very nice of him. But, we need, for you guys that compete, as you mentioned, regionally and probably even nationally, we got to get you some prize money. We got to get you a nice trophy.
Oh, that's why we do it.
Bring home the
That's
cash
why we
and
do
bring
it.
home the hardware.
Now, I think, oh gosh, I guess we probably have, Eddie, I'm going to say probably what I've got and what Perry's got down at UTC, probably 11 or 12 teams right now that are already
I think we
signed
got a few
up.
more than that.
Okay, so you may have more than I know of.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a list on that. I think we had close to the mid-teens. There was 4 teams that hadn't registered. Doug had reached out to them. I registered, I know, a couple the other day. So we should be probably north of 15, I would imagine.
That is fantastic. So we only need 10 more, Frank, to make it a regular super
That'll be fun.
big now 25-person chicken wing contest is a big contest.
And I still think there's like Aramark, the UTC's whatever the prepares the food for the university and all that. They had a representative last year.
Yep.
We even talked about expanding it, and what we'd like to see is more students get involved. They can, even have a student area, provide them with the wings, and all they got to do is dress them up, throw them on a grill, and, hey, may the best man win, and woman win.
Man, I think reaching out to the fraternities and the sororities, those frat guys, they can cook.
Well,
They can certainly do wings.
Well, let's have some prize money. I mean, what else would generate that? You and I have both been on that college budget, and that gets a little short sometimes. More month than money. So I'm okay with that. And I think we've done a good job of trying to reach out to them. It's just a different world these days, a little bit with some of them. But we're not asking for everybody. We just need about 10 teams to be fantastic in a college division.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want everybody. Did you have a question, Frank?
No, what I was going to say, a couple of years ago, I really got a kick out of it. This cute little young 20-ish young lady comes walking up, and she's sitting there scratching her head, and she's unloading the stuff out of her car, and she has her mom with her. And I said, "Hi, how are you?" Introduced myself. And she said, "I entered this chicken wing contest, and I have no clue in this world what I'm doing. I had to go out and buy the grill, and this is my mom. She's promised to help cook with me."
At our contest
Yeah,
we did?
yeah.
I didn't see her.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she was a great girl. She had a lot of fun. Had
Yep.
no clue in the world what she was doing, but that was. I mean, that was representing the college, campus.
Well,
So it'd be fun.
you're right. We actually, I grabbed Jeff Wilcox, who was helping, he was marketing director at the time for UTC Athletics. And I said, we got to get this girl a table, just to elaborate a little bit more on that story.
Yeah.
And 'cause she was sitting there, because she's looking at kind of you guys, and I had a green egg, and she's thinking I'm big time. And she's got like a little hibachi grill
Yeah.
that she bought at Walmart.
Yeah.
And it didn't last much longer than that wing contest, I can promise you that.
But
And
you
she
know,
was actually crying. She was so intimidated. We got her all up and running and stuff like that. We treated her well. And the think tank, the group I'm associated with, actually made a donation to her sorority.
oh, that's
That's
fantastic.
great.
Just because we were so excited, we actually had a student group show up, even though it turned out to be her and her mother. But you're absolutely right. That was the first year we did it. It was, an eye opener, and we can always expand on that. We need to reach out. We need to be, inclusive of the students and not exclusive to just people that do this on a regular basis and kind of know what they're doing. I mean, you guys are stoking this with a fire, and she's got her little Bradford briquettes right there, self-igniting,
Hey, but you know what?
She
When
might
you- wait,
have paid $49 for that.
But you know
maybe.
what? When you turn in the food, the judges have no idea what you cooked
Yeah,
it on.
that's true.
And that-
Absolutely.
And that is what is so much fun about a contest. And a lot of people, we had this conversation last night at another place. Sometimes people are intimidated by other people at contests, and that it is a factor. You can be intimidated, but don't ever not want to compete, because you don't have to. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just because I have a trailer that Frank and I use because it's comfortable. That's why we've got a trailer. It's just we're old guys, and we want to be comfortable when we cook.
And it hurts.
Yeah, and but we started in pop-ups, pop-up tents, a table, and
Sure.
in one smoker. That's how we started, and everybody starts that way. And you can morph into any kind of team that you want. You can make competitions, barbecue or chicken. You can make it as expensive as you want to or as cheap as you want to. But just remember, anybody that's listening and you're on the fence, you're maybe a little scared to get in there, don't be.
Come do it.
Don't come do it.
You'll have a blast.
You might be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
You might be surprised, folks. You turn in some wings that the right number of judges like. They call that an angel table, and boom, you're walking home with 5 large.
Yeah.
And it
That'd
happens.
be a good day.
And Eddie, it happens. It happens in barbecue contests. It happens in chicken wing contests. It happens in steak contests that are all over the nation now. That there's a lot of people that cook on fancy grills, and a lot of people show up with the hibachi grill, like you said, that they bought at Publix. It's disposable. They go down there and they win a steak contest. So if you have ever wanted to compete, said even in your backyard, your buddies tell you how, say, man, my wings are great. Your wings, Frank, man, your wings are great. Come on down. Load your stuff up and come on down. And
What did you say in one of your emails the other day? Bring your wing thing on?
yeah, get your wing thing on. And chicken wing contests are, of all the contests I've done, they are the most fun because you can run, it's fun to go around and sample everybody else's food, and you get some. I'm working on chops from 1885 in Charlie Loomis from the feed. Now, I don't know if you're in the chicken wing competition business, Eddie. These guys,
The creme de la creme.
yeah, they don't win here in Chattanooga only. They go to Atlanta and Nashville, and they compete in the World Food Championships that's been in down in Alabama the last 2 years, and is going to be in Dallas this year. And the world final table is in New Orleans. These guys are cooking at the highest level that there is.
Yeah.
And if you can get them there, you'll be. And that's what interests me and it probably does you too, Eddie. If you get a guy like Charlie Loomis there, just think just the fact to cook against him and see where you stack up.
Absolutely, and I think the other thing to talk about this particular venue is in what Mark Wharton's vision is to actually, have concerts. We're going to have music there at this venue. We've had one the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of a party atmosphere. I don't think anybody's had to pay for anything in our venue. We even had a gentleman last year with providing cold and hot. I don't drink coffee, but all the
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He does his thing. He's got his own company, does his stuff, and everybody just was going around saying, "I don't have to pay for this," and it's like, no, just sample one of our wings, have a good time, enjoy the music. There's a kids clinic, there's a 5K. They're going to start at 9:00. Anybody interested that signs up, I think 8:00 or so. They're talking about us, getting down there. I think it opens actually at 7. And then the wing contest, 12:45, we got to get our wings turned in. So there's a lot of time to go around, as you mentioned, to see people, get to meet some people that might, be they're just cook wings or just some huge mock supporters and just want to, create a nice event. We're going to have probably cornhole and a few other things like that available, for kids to play with. And, it's such a big venue. And I've gotten to meet you and Doug and, some others that Paul Schoner that, see him in all the Mox games. But, it's really become really a social event. And I think what Chattanooga is about is just the event, seeing people having a great time, and so now after 4 years, here we are talking on the radio show, so it's worked out really well, I think. And as you said, it's continued to grow and grow.
Yeah. And like you said, it's a great place to come see old friends. And any social event is an event to come on out. It's a Saturday, March 30th, nothing else going on. Come on out, get some free wings. And if you're interested in cooking wings or interested in cooking, I know we've had several people last year, in the last couple of years, they've wanted to come in the trailer, look around, just to check it out. You're welcome to, if you've got any questions about cooking them. I'm one of those guys that I do a little smoke fry combination in contests, and that makes kind of a tasty little wing. And there's lots of, like I always say, there's lots of ways to get to Chicago, and it's just a fun time. And I want to encourage anybody that's out there that if you just think, man, I would love to do that. Load your green egg in the back of the truck, and bring it. Come by the gas station at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and buy you some rub, and I'll put you
free air.
Yeah, and some free air, and I'll put you on the. I'll put you on the rub that David Bosker used at the 2018 Jack Daniels World Championship where he won. I can put you on the rub that he used on his chicken, the exact combination. And I can get you pointed in the right direction where I guarantee you, I can't guarantee a win, but I guarantee you'll be in the consideration with the judges. It tastes that good.
And the great thing about wings, you said they're not intimidating. They're not. That's the easiest thing, in my opinion, to start off and cook.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not cooking a big pork butt. Nothing takes 6-8 hours. You're cooking something simple,
It is, and, it's the criteria that we've, through you, have suggested is appearance, and they're graded on appearance, and then obviously graded on taste. I think the big difference this year, if we can get the wings donated, so everybody has a consistent wing, because, someone might have organic, someone might have, something on steroids, whatever.
Yeah.
The good thing is they'll all be the same. So therefore, there's no advantage other than really the way you prepare them.
And yourself, fellas, everybody wants to run out and get those big jumbo wings. They look like turkey legs. Hey, it's the little ones that win the contest because they're so tender. It's a tenderness game. I'll tell you right now. We're gonna go over that with Tim Maloy. Eddie, I want to just tell you we appreciate you being on with us, and I hope you will. I will hope you will watch. I know you don't do Facebook. I can't believe that, but anyway, I hope you will. Maybe you've got a child or a wife that does
My
it.
daughter, wife, everybody else. I'm one of the few that hasn't done Facebook.
And
maybe this will drive me to it.
yeah, and then you can watch the rest of the show, because coming up after you is Tim Maloy from Florida. He is one of the premier barbecue cooks in the Florida Barbecue Association. And not only is he a great barbecuer, but he is a world-class chicken wing cook as well. And he'll be coming up right after you.
What's he doing March 30th?
I don't know. He may be in my trailer.
Yeah.
I love it. Bring him on. We'll have a good time and love to meet him and shake his hand. But, and like you said, bring the wing thing on.
Good deal. Thank you so much, Eddie O'Brien. You're a class act. We appreciate
so
you, man.
much.
Thanks, Eddie.
You betcha.
Take care.
See you.
All right, we're going to try to find my cursor, which is way over there on that screen. We're going to bring it over here. And
Give us a second for a technology challenge break.
let's see. How does that work? Let's see. I got to bring it over here, Frank. Hold on just a second. I got to bring it back to me. No, we don't want to do that. We're going to do this, so let's see. We can go up here. Just bear with me. We're going to get Tim Maloy coming up. I've got to find out. See, I've got this real cool system here that I need to learn how to use. There we go. We'll cancel that. I'm going to turn around. Hold on just a second. Just a sec. This is like watching Cameron Swayze on the Timex commercials. You remember that, don't you, Eddie? Don't you, Frank? The Cameron Swayze?
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't. There we go. Right there's who we're looking for. We're going to Tim Maloy. Hello, Tim. Are you with us? Tim, are you with us, buddy? Well. Let's see if we can't raise him again. We had a practice. We had a practice before we went on the air. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. Hey, Tim, you there? There he is.
There we go.
Tim, you were just there. You were just there, Tim. There he is.
He's back.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Tim? Turn your microphone on. We can see you, Tim. We can see you. We can see you. He can't see us. He can't see us. He's trying to use Bluetooth.
Because of those shades.
Yeah. I told him to have his.
Signature shades.
I told him to have his kid there so he could figure out what's going on there. Let's see if he's there. Tim is really struggling, but the good thing about the internet. There he is. I hear him. Hey, Tim.
Go.
Tim, can you hear us?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man, I can hear you great now. Can you hear us?
How you guys?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Great. Tim Maloy from the Florida Barbecue Association. Champion barbecuer. World-class chicken wing cook. What else is there to the resume, Tim? What's left? What haven't you done?
I haven't done a whole lot yet, but I appreciate the accolades. But we're still learning and trying to get better. Got our ass kicked this weekend, so we're trying to figure out what we did wrong and get back going again.
Well, Tim, we're gonna switch a little barbecue. I appreciate you being back on the show with us. You were on a couple months ago with us talking about the beginning of the Florida Barbecue Association. But we're going to switch gears a little bit. We've got a big chicken wing contest coming up at the end of March. And all month we are going to focus part of the show on chicken wings.
Wings.
And Frank and I, we have a recipe, and we're going to explore our recipes, explore our friends' recipes. But we wanted to get somebody that knows what they're doing. And that's why you came to mind, because you are, because you are one of those. You're one of those guys, and I want to tell everybody that's watching and listening. Tim Maloy is one of those guys that he thinks outside the box. He doesn't take all this stuff so seriously, where he frets and wrings his hands, and that's why he's so good at it, because he relaxes. Tim, when you're going, I know you do some chicken wing contest. Let's go out and pick. Let's go to Publix and pick out some wings. What are you looking for?
When I'm going to go to Publix, and I'm going to get the family pack, because I do wings in competition too. I put it in my box, my chicken box. And, but we also, when they have ancillary chicken wing contest on Friday night, we'll get into that too.
Absolutely.
And I'll make sure that they're nice and clean, not a lot of blood in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing I'll do is cut that drummy off and that wing tip, and I will only cook the flapper.
So you only turn in flats.
Interesting.
Yes, sir. That's there's too many tendons and different things in that drummy that just doesn't make for a good bite at all.
You know,
Interesting.
I was gonna ask you about that later on, but I can't believe that you addressed it so quickly. I'm one of those weird guys at the party. I grab the flats too. I don't like the drummy part of it. I think the flat is a much cleaner bite.
It's a cleaner bite.
Geez, I've cooked them. I've cooked them so long, just trying to get rid of some of that the bone will fall apart before I can get the drummy to even have a good bite to it.
Yeah. What now what kind of a smoker are you using to do your wings? I know you do your barbecue on drums. You staying with the drums?
No, well, I had to this past week because I couldn't get my Weber up to temp in the heat of the battle. So I did put them on one of my drums but I like to keep them around 300 I use a 22-inch Weber kettle with a fire butler inside to keep from the direct heat hitting the wing and charring it up.
Now, what you said, Tim, is so interesting, because we were talking earlier about how you don't have to make a wing contest expensive for you with equipment. And there you are cooking on literally a $329 smoker, which
probably more like $130 one.
Yeah, he's Weber.
My
kettle.
Weber kettle.
Oh, the
Weber
kettle,
kettle.
not the bullet, the kettle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that's even better.
Yeah, it's just got two wheels and a grate. But I heard about that wing contest. They got room for a 42-foot toy hauler there?
Yes, they do.
Only if you don't compete, though.
You can park it right behind my 32-foot one.
There we go. I'd come up there if I didn't have a contest that weekend. But yeah, but the flappers is the only thing I use for competition. Now in Waynesboro, Georgia, at the Boss Hog, they have a wing contest there, and we have to feed the public too. But but they only you can trim them up however you want. But what I turn in for my competition on Friday night there, I'll also just turn in flappers as long as they. One year we had to turn in the drummy too, but last year we didn't have to. We got second place up there in that.
So what kind of a prep you doing? And if you don't want to tell us what kind of rubs you're using, I certainly understand that. But what's the basic prep about washing them and patting them dry and that kind of thing?
Brining them?
I don't wash them at all. What I'll do, as a matter of fact, I've heard once you start the washing process, you start bringing in the bacteria. So we don't wash any chicken.
Yeah.
So what we do, and it doesn't matter if I'm doing 200 wings or if I'm doing 10 wings for a competition to put in a styrofoam box, I will trim off the like I said, the drummy and the tip, and I will inject every wing no matter what. One of your sponsors, Butchers, has a great chicken injection.
Right.
so does, there's other chicken injections out there that are really good. We know who they are. And then, but every wing, every flapper will get injected between the two bones. Once you cut off the drummy, there'll be two bones there, and right in between those, and I'll inject right into there.
You see, you brought up a great point, and I try to stress this to people. A lot of people want to brine chicken. Brining, I think, and a lot of people disagree with me, I think brining is a waste of time. I think what you do, you just get the skin, fluid on the skin. If you want to get flavor inside meat, just like Tim said, you got to inject it. Put it inside, put it in the meat with a needle, right, Tim?
Yes, sir. And I just do it for flavor, and there's brining is good as long as you have your skin off. I don't agree with brining with skin on.
Right.
But you can either do one or the other. Well, you can brine and you can also marinate overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do both. I mean, you can, but it's overkill. So I just inject.
I'm with you. I don't brine. I don't marinate. I sit there. I let them. Every time I do a wing, I like to do them right then. I don't inject up till now. But what I like to do is,
Don't you?
yeah, that's what I just said. Up till now, I didn't inject.
But don't remember second place at wing contest either, do they?
No, they don't. And turn it into flats, inject, and then what kind of are you using a combination rub, or are you just going with one?
I use a combination, even on my ancillary wing contest. I'll use which I won't go into, but I can tell you I've used Oak Ridge chicken rub, which is very good. There's a lot of good, but you just don't want to use too salty of a rub and too granular. Matter of fact, I think what I would do is, and we grind all of our rubs, is especially on the wing. If you just go directly over the top of the wings, you're going to get a real gritty taste when you're cooking that wing out. If you don't grind almost to 3/4 powder, if you don't grind your rubs up.
And that way, in that way, Tim, I guess you're getting that velvety bite that everybody's always looking for.
Yes, sir. That'll do that. And then once you sauce, if you sauce, then you'll also want to come back over the top of that with. You also want to come back over the top of that with a little bit of that same dust. Maybe even a sweeter type dust, and then maybe spray some warm apple juice on it after that.
And then when you're putting them in a box, Tim, how many do you put in a box?
You're breaking up.
How many wings do you usually put in a box?
In competition?
Yeah.
I'll fill it up.
Gosh.
I'll fill it up, but it'll look really good in there. My presentation will still be there, because don't forget, I don't know if at your wing contest, if they're scoring in appearance or not, but you got to remember that they eat with their eyes first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody.
And if that wing looks good in the box, chances are you're going to be ahead of the game. Yeah. Now, are you allowed to do, can only be grilled wings, or can you do a combination of grilled and fried? Can you smoke your wing first?
Yeah.
And then get it to temp, and then the last 10 minutes fry them out? Because I tell you what, to me, that's probably the best wing out there right now.
Yeah.
I agree.
The smoked fried wing.
That's what we did. That's what we did all last year. And it's a lot of.
I won without ever frying them. So, but I didn't know what the rules are around here. You can do either way, but
yeah, you can fry them. There's a couple people. Some people last year just fried them only. Didn't even bring a smoker. And
no, I would definitely smoke them first or something and get them nice and tender on the. You can't get the same tender frying them, but if you smoke them and get them there and then just drop them in for just a little bit, get that grease really hot and drop them in for just a little bit, I think you can't beat a smoked fried wing.
No, I agree, and I really like the idea of the way you grind. You're grinding up your rubs, and are you using a combination, Tim? Did you say you were? I can't remember.
I do in competition. Yeah, I do use a combination. 3 different ones, but they all blend together real nice. But there's, like I said, I mean, I've won with just the regular Oak Ridge chicken rub ground up, just not even layered.
Are you when you're cooking your wings on the grill? Are you spritzing them with anything?
No,
butter,
but
nothing.
I do about, because I cook my wings at 300 for about an hour and 10 minutes, 290 to 300. I like to have it a little bit under 300 for an hour and 10 minutes, and then I will about 30 minutes in, I will get some clarified butter and roll over the top of them.
Yeah. What kind of a color are you looking for?
I mean, golden brown, but then on the smoker. But then by the time I get it together, it's got that nice mahogany color to it.
Yeah, remember Frank and I did some wings for some neighbors, and we didn't like. Remember we were smoking them. We didn't like the color of it, so we
chicken doesn't actually. I don't use chicken. Doesn't take smoke good.
No, it doesn't.
So even in my barrel, I use sugar maple lump charcoal, Bascom's sugar maple lump charcoal. But I don't even add wood chunks, because down in Florida, at least, I don't know how it is up north. I haven't had a comment card about it yet, but I don't know. It was 2.5, 3 years ago. I got a comment card that your chicken tastes like smoke. And I'm like, well, I thought we're at a smoking contest. Yeah. Well, apparently not with chicken. But chicken doesn't take, and I didn't realize it, but chicken does not take a real good smoke on it. So I know some people throw some wood pellets in their drum or something like that just to give them a little bit. But anytime I've ever put wood chunks in my barrel, I've gotten your chicken tastes like smoke comment card.
Well, if they comment they don't like it, don't put it in.
No.
Don't put it in.
But I mean, the charcoal I use even in my Weber puts a nice color on it.
Hey, Tim, we had a discussion before we got you on, and I want you to add to it a little bit. Talking about people that maybe, in these small local contests, you get a lot of people that are backyard cooks, and they're good. And they've always wondered how good their food is, cooking next to somebody else, but they're afraid to come out and compete for whatever reason. Help put their mind at ease, coming from a person that cooks 35 to 40 contests a year, somebody like you, on how you look upon people that are new at this, or that you can tell that they might need help from the perspective of a professional like yourself.
Well, first of all, you got to get out there the first time, no matter whatever, it's a wing contest or a steak contest, which those are pretty popular now. And you can't, don't be intimidated, man. It's just a lot of fun. Get out there, enjoy the camaraderie with everybody, go up and ask, like Al's Nest, go up and ask, Al's Nest, hey, how's it, you got any tips for me or anything you're not going to give them your program, but you're going to show them, you're going to lead them in the right direction. And if somebody's experienced like that, unless they're just a real prick or something, which I haven't run across too many of those, they're going to help you out. And I'm going to be the first one to come help you out if I see you struggling.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say is the people that do this a lot. And I'll use Frank and I and Dan, our other partner, when we were down at the World Food Championships a couple years ago. You were down there with Chad and Chad Ward, and Doug Scheiding was down there, and y'all could not, do enough for us, showing us how you were prepping your briskets and how you prepped your chicken, especially chicken. You let me sit right in there and watch you do it.
It's kind of hard to hear us with that generator you had, but we were trying to tell you.
You need to get over that.
It might have something to do with the fireball payoff, I might add.
You still got my 7-inch boning knife too, by the way. and you know you have. You probably got it framed.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I remember that weekend very well. And that's the way that we are at every contest. There's new teams coming out in the FBA all the time. And, I welcome them over and, I'll bring them in and show them a few things. Like I said, we're not going to sit there and give them our program, but I will make sure that you're not going to screw your brisket up when you're trimming it or chicken wing.
I know. We would welcome anybody if anybody wants to come down to the pavilion on March the 30th for the UTC Fan Fest. That's in conjunction with the UTC football spring game. You can set up right next to us, and we'll, Frank and I, either one of us will walk over, and we will help you. Anybody will help you if you're clueless. If you just do wings in your backyard and you don't have a timetable, a timetable on chicken wings. Tim just gave you one, 295 degrees for an hour and 10 minutes. So there's
I've got a fire butler, a guy here in Florida makes it. Not even sponsored by him, just letting you know. He makes it, and it actually, and you can do other things, but I do not cook directly over my coals. I have a system in there that I put my wings on top of, but it doesn't catch the heat directly, so I can cook at that temperature. I wouldn't recommend putting them straight on the grate over the coals at 290.
Yeah.
You'll burn some wings up quick that way.
But there you get
indirect.
Establish a timetable. You can do them indirect. You can get a deflector like Tim uses. All that information is online, I'm sure. And but I just want to encourage everybody, if you're listening and you're saying, I want to do that, honey, I want to do that. Do it. Load up your stuff in the truck, and come on out. We'd love to see you down there, and you might want to go back and watch this video again, because Tim Maloy from Florida just gave you the perfect timeline and gave you some winning tips right there, especially on the injection. Now, is that injection? Is that a little? Has that got any butter in it, or is it all just butcher barbecue type?
It's butcher barbecue type. Just mix it up exactly the way
it says. The
way that Dave has it on his label. Just mix it up the way he says it, and there's other Cosmos has got some real good injection as well.
Mm-hmm. He sure does. There's a lot of people out there that sell it, and and most.
I know there's one coming on the market here before too long, and it's we call it chicken crack down here, but I'm going to run it in my class this weekend. But it's going to be coming out at about $30 a bottle. But trust me, it's going to be about expensive as crack, but it's worth every penny of it.
Hey, we talked about that school you're having last time you were here. Have you got a good turnout for it?
Yeah, we're sold out. We got 25.
That's great, Tim. That's great.
Maybe more than I should have for my first time, but, I didn't want to turn anybody down. No. I just finally said, okay, I'll cap it, 25.
I tell you, you'll be great. Anybody that's lucky enough.
That's this weekend.
And anybody that's lucky enough to be there, you're gonna learn how to cook some championship barbecue and finishing that top 5. And
you're gonna learn how to do it. You're gonna learn how to do it with a good buzz on too.
And for everybody who attends, they get a pair of signature white Tim Maloy sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
And a bottle.
I don't want everybody running around.
And a bottle of Fireball.
And a bottle of Fireball with some
They're getting
red
the bottles.
cups.
They're getting it. They're going to get one little airplane bottle of Fireball, but we'll probably go through about 4 or 5 handles this weekend.
I don't know which one's worse, you or Ellsworth, those pink drinks.
His pink drinks are really good. I've seen people in the past few weeks that haven't had them in a while. And I don't know if he's made them a little stronger or what, but people are coming around me a little more buzzed up than usual after having one of them.
Tim Maloy, thank you so much. We sure appreciate you. We sure appreciate you spending your off time with Frank and I and our listeners. And thanks for the tips, man. We really appreciate it.
I've got some family I want you to say hi to.
Yeah.
They live in Ottawa, been there for a long time. Eric Vandermalley, Jennifer Vandermalley, and Kaylin Vandermalley, and Jason Vandermalley. I'm going to send them down to your store, and you're going to talk to them. You're going to sell them some good tires, price on some good tires.
I know the Vandermalleys.
You said they're here in Ottawa, right?
I do. I know the Vandermalleys.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I know everybody.
That's right. I figured you did.
I know everybody. I've been here 35 years.
Tim, he didn't
Yeah.
get the title
No,
of
they've
mayor of
been there.
Ottawa for nothing, okay?
They've been there close to 20, probably.
Yeah, I know them. I can't believe they're now. How are they related to you?
Eric Vandermalley is my wife's brother.
Oh, okay.
And actually, we did a contest up there. Just if I got a few seconds,
Yeah.
we
Take your time.
did a contest up there. Is it Cleveland?
Yep, Cleveland, Tennessee. I was there.
It was like probably my 7th contest ever. Because they lived right there, I wanted to go up. I just bought in a smaller toy hauler. Didn't know really how to cook. I think we finished 22nd out of 36 teams or whatever was there. But, or maybe even farther down the list. I remember I burnt my brisket to the ground. I still didn't know how to cook that. But
It's still lying there.
I
by the
remember
way.
but they were all with me for that one. There was a guy that won that event that literally was cooking next to me, and he cooked 2 racks of ribs, 2 pork butts, 9 pieces of chicken, and 1 brisket.
That's it.
An older gentleman.
Yeah,
And
that was the first time. That guy had been cooking for like 30 years, and that was his first GC.
I was like, how can you cook? And he had his own homemade cooker.
Yeah,
And just beat the hell out of everybody that
Yeah.
day.
that's what I tell people. The judges have no idea what you're cooking on. They don't know.
No.
They don't know.
And if I remember right, South Pork and Myron and all them people were there.
Johnny Trigg was there.
He beat the hell out of everybody.
Donnie Bray was there. I mean, that was when
That was the
I
stuff.
was an unknown.
that was when everybody was flying high. That was the zenith of barbecue right there.
And I was going to go back to it, and when I was actually good at this thing, and they canceled it. But I thought it was a great contest.
We did our first ever contest there the first year, and then the second year we went back and competed as professionals, and then they called it off because the guy that did
It
it
was
was
only 2
retired.
years anyway.
So what?
It was only 2 years anyway.
Yeah,
Is that
right,
long it lasted?
right.
Oh, okay.
But it was a
Got
good
fair
contest.
or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, remember inside that big barn, that horse barn. Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
Tim Maloy,
But
thank you
anyway,
so much.
Hey, I appreciate it, Steve. And anytime you want me on, just call me like you did today. I'm more than willing to get on TV.
Tim, I appreciate you. We'll see you, man. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Tim Maloy, thank you so much for being with us. What's great tips, Frank?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
There's one that I did not get to ask him, and I learned it from Chad. Watching a video, Chad, of course, cooked with him, was when you take that flat, take the tip of your scissors and split those bones, and according to him, you inject the flat, and it will separate and give you a better bite.
Well, now repeat that because I was moving
Okay.
the Skype out of the way. I'm sorry.
So your wing or your flat.
Hold on.
Is joined like that,
Hold on, let me look. All right, now, well, now.
right? Take
Yeah.
your flats joined like
Yeah,
this.
right.
So you take your scissors and you nip the end of between them, the tendon, and then you inject in it. When you bite down on it, you get a better fuller. The wing will take more injection, and you'll get a better bite through it.
On the flat.
Yeah, on the flat,
There
which
you
I
go.
thought was interesting.
Another tip.
Yeah.
Now hold on. We're gonna hey, you know what we can do? Next week we can demo that right here.
Yeah.
We can demo that. We're gonna talk about chicken wings every day this month, or every show for a part of the show this month.
Dear Lord.
Oh, I love them. I love chicken wings.
I do too.
I didn't hardly eat them until about 3 years ago.
Well, he made an interesting point. He said the first thing he did when he goes in Publix, and I've done it before, you go in there and buy the biggest, chunkiest looking wings you can buy. and you bring them home, and you see the ones that have the red marks. Those are blood marks.
Yeah.
And according to what I was told, when the chicken is getting slaughtered, it senses stress and it starts to bleed. And don't buy those with the little streaks of red in them.
So you
Or
buy
you'll
the,
get blood in your
buy the
eye.
chickens they
Yeah,
snuck
they're
up
white.
on?
Buy the ones that are white. In other words.
Okay, they snuck up on those
Yeah,
guys.
they got those with a hatchet in the
Gotcha.
back of the head.
Gotcha. Take that, chicken. Everybody, thanks for watching. You've been watching the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show with Steve Ray and Frank Blair. Don't forget, the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store is open at the Midnight Oil in Ottawa. Come on by and see us. And while you're there, check out our great prices on tires. Remember, you don't buy the store, you just buy the tires. It's the tire plus sales tax is the out-the-door price. Frank, where do you get your tires at?
Steve Ray.
Exactly right.
Got them on now.
The tires plus sales tax is the out-the-door price. There's no supplies. There's no balance fee. There's no valve stem fee. There's no environmental fee. There's no send my kid to college fee. There's none of that when you buy tires at the Midnight Oil in Ottawa. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you right back here next Wednesday on the Owl's Nest Barbecue
Good night, all.
Show.